Thank you, Marlon.
I'm about to take a week
But
off.
Tracy's right.
Again, that's 2 times in a row. Play another one.
I'm scared.
We'll call it a night so I can get up and go to work.
Yeah, because you really looking forward to getting up and going to work.
I'm not, but I'm going swimming tomorrow. So hi.
Ooh.
I haven't been in
Okay,
3 weeks.
Go ahead, Miss Trace.
Okay, next one I know is not because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I pulled these today. And if you've seen these before, it ain't been on my show.
Sound a little testy, Marlon.
I
I
am.
know.
A
Oh
little.
man, you want to pick the videos? I'm like,
I
didn't
am.
nobody make you make the pick?
I'm very tested. What's your point? What's your point? I am.
You know, this is all this is because you were wasting all that time memorizing girls' last name.
Oh, I'm sorry that I have minors. How's being gay bad?
What harm does it do to people? Why is it bad?
What harm?
Yes, please tell me.
What positive about it?
Wait, what's
That
positive?
is immoral. That's not immoral.
Yeah, wait. If a thing doesn't have a positive impact on society, that makes it immoral, correct?
Correct. Very
Okay.
correct.
Now, if somebody is in a happy, consenting relationship, adults, and they're happy in the relationship for the rest of their life, how is that not positive?
Positive for who?
Them.
So if it's positive, then why so many people against it?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
To
Why?
society, it's immoral.
So why to
Immoral
society is it
It's
immoral?
something bad.
Okay, so why is it
Immoral
bad?
is something bad
Okay, so why is it bad?
because it's not good.
Come on, bro. Like, stop trolling, dog.
Yo.
It's not trolling.
This is a microphone. I would plug this into my thing. Okay. Would me putting this on my table, is that good or is that bad? Or is that neither good nor bad?
No, that's the act that you put it on your table.
Right. So it's neither good nor bad. You would agree with that, right?
Right.
Okay. So if something is neither good nor bad, that means it is not good, correct?
Or it's not bad.
Okay. So we're getting there. So when it comes to homosexuality, there's no good and there's no bad. It just is. It's like putting this on the table. That's the argument that I'm making. Unless you can give a reason for why it's bad.
No, it's not. It's bad because it's immoral.
Okay. Now, why is it immoral?
Because it's bad.
Marlon, I hate to tell you this.
I will.
Why they go find? How they go find Herschel Walker the hidden tapes? How you?
Why is it bad? Because it's immoral. Why is it immoral? Because it's bad. He could have went to a whole bunch of cars.
I just want to state that I think it's bad. Well, why is it bad? Because it's bad.
No, he said because it's immoral. Why is it immoral?
Where is your mother, sir? Where is your mother?
This is what we call everybody. Right now, I'm going to show you something. This is called a circular argument.
No, this ain't. Now that's not what that is. No, that's not.
That's unreasonable. That's a troll. That is absolutely positively a troll.
The shortest circular argument that you can have, and it's not very logical.
He could have went to my morals, my background, my religion. He could have went to a whole bunch of cards, but he went to the. Why is it immoral? Because it's bad. Why is it bad? Because it's immoral.
No, because this guy only knows two things. And I don't know if he is a troll. I don't know if it's because of educational. I don't know if it is about religion. Because he's only using two arguments. He's using the word immoral and bad. Because we know that immoral, or we assume being immoral is being bad. We also realize that we people dictate what is immoral. So once we have dictated what is and it is not immoral, if we have deemed it that it is immoral, we deem it bad. But the argument, and that's why I said it's the shortest circular argument on the face of the planet, is because he never tells you exactly what makes it bad. He goes back to it's bad because it's immoral. Well, what makes
the reason why he wouldn't do it?
It's bad.
Now this
go right up back over the face. circle.
This is the one coherent thought that person had. He knew that he could not say why it was immoral.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was doing it deliberately. He wanted so bad to say because it's against God or against whatever his little thing is. But he knew enough that he was like, I'm not going to get baited into that. I'm not going to give you that. So he kept trying to dance around it. But once you do that, you've exited. Like Tracy said, you could have had a spiritual argument. I wouldn't agree with you, but you're in that lane. But because you were scared of falling in that lane, you stayed out here. Well, out here, you got it because it's bad.
But I even tell you, I'll even use your
Why
words.
Is it immoral? Because it's bad. Why is it bad? Because it's immoral. Man, if you don't put a sentence together.
I don't think he would have used religion as the reason for it being immoral and bad. I will use what this has been said on this show for the longest time, because it's icky. Now, if he knew enough of the Bible to actually use that argument, I guarantee you he would have. But because he didn't have enough information to use that argument, the icky was the only thing he said. And because it made you feel icky, that means it's bad. That means it.
But that's the thing.
Use a bigger word. Even bad, immoral.
But that's the thing. For people, even the religious people who are trying to use that as their foundation, they still, their real aversion is because it's icky. Because the Bible has a lot of things that we're supposed to not do or not participate or not condone. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. But that one stands out and becomes a rallying call because it's icky. Because it's butt stuff. If it wasn't butt stuff, they wouldn't worry about it so much. I'm serious. Because they're not fond.
That's funny, but yeah.
I'm serious. They're not fond of two women being together, but they're not attacking women for being together. They attack men for being together. So their real problem is not homosexuality. Their real problem is that it can't create a new life. That's one. That's one of the arguments they'll fall into. And then two, it's icky. So that is their whole thing. Just like with abortion. The Bible actually makes a case for abortion. But we're going to go ahead and ignore that. We're going to go instead with you're killing children. Because that's icky. Right? That's something we can all kind of come together on. For anything that most of these people do is very, very thin, very thin. I've often said that for a lot of them, from almost all of them, they really don't believe in their God. They claim they do, but they truly don't. Because God has all power. Nothing can be that which he would not allow to be. And he's the final arbiter and judge. We are not called to judge. So if you believe in these things, if you believe in the all-encompassing power, you believe in our role in his creation, then you wouldn't be spending all this time fighting amongst each other. You would be trying to be the most Christ-like person you can be, so that when it's time for judgment, you would be the one that he says, well done, my good and faithful servant, right? But that's not how a lot of the rabid religious people function. They're busy trying to correct everybody else, when your mission is supposed to be correcting yourself.
But I'm gonna have to disagree with that, but that's okay. That's not.
I would love to hear the disagreement on that.
I'm not going to.
I have been.
No.
So why would you even say it?
I'm stopping myself from saying.
You do that. So I love you. I respect you, but you do that. It's like I disagree, but I'm not going to give you any point for it.
Say it.
Then I assert.
No.
It's cool. It's
no, because I know I'm going to say something that offends people, and that's never my goal.
Well, I'm not. I mean, we're not offended here.
Yeah.
Good God, is the
Just
much
an
stuff that we
exchange
done
of
had on this
ideas.
show? You actually think
And you
got
were one of the most
offend
respectful
somebody?
people I've ever met in my life. So I can't imagine.
I just think, yeah, this is what me and my sister were talking about today. I just think, like I said, that first video definitely had a problem with his attitude. I'm like, nah, bro, your attitude really is really irking me because I know how I was raised. I know exactly how I was raised and the context in which I was raised. I can't go along with, I'm supposed to be working on myself, which I am. But I can't just see you doing wrong. Just, oh well, I got to work on myself. No, I can't. I can't.
But okay, so maybe that was not worded the best, but what is your calling to correct another person's behavior?
I can't correct them. Only they can correct themselves. Only they can correct themselves. But I can't just watch you do so. I can't watch somebody beat their wife and me never say nothing about it. I gotta say something about it. I can't stop them from doing it, but I got to say something about it.
I have no problem with
I
that.
think what we do is we want this whole judge not thing. People take it, they take that verse totally out of context, and it ticks me off. That's one of the few things that ticks me off.
Say something. I'm not saying that you.
That's exactly what. Okay.
No.
This is why I didn't want to say anything because I knew it's one of the things that's going to make me mad.
Upset.
I'm upset.
Just listen. Just listen. I'm not saying because I grew up the same way, Tracy, with what you're saying. And trust me, if you met my Aunt Lois, believe me, you're going to hear her mouth. Like, there is no doubt in my mind if you're doing wrong, she's going to say something. I grew up with this woman in fear, and she never laid a freaking hand on me, ever. And I feared her. And for a certain point, more than my own mother. At the same time, though, what I'm saying is, we're talking about, I'm going to go up to you, Tracy, and tell you what my Bible and what my God is telling me that put in my heart to say to you what you are doing.
And if you see me in error, you should. If you see me doing something stupid, you have every responsibility to tell me.
Now,
that's an excellent
period.
Here's the question.
Who are you seeing doing? Okay.
Wait, let me finish. Here's the question. How far are you willing to go?
You can't. Here's how I'll answer. You cannot make people change their behavior. Ever.
That is a problem that we're having because these people are forcibly.
Again, this is why I didn't want to say, because I knew this is my upsetting point. It drives me absolutely crazy that this is what the left does. They take one little script and just go. No, that's not the context.
Tracy, I drop scriptures all day long. We can sit here and you'll outrun me, but I can keep up to a good point on scripture. But
but I can't stand it.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna get on the track. I forgot more than you know, so knock yourself out. I'm not even going to the school.
But the thing is, it's supposed to be about the spirit of what's being communicated anyway.
Yes, if you see me doing something stupid,
it's not the verbatim.
Yes, if you see me, I'll use this as an example. If you see me doing something wrong, you absolutely have the right to say, Tracy, you know you're wrong. It's up to me to change it. Because you can't change me. Only I can
agree with that.
I agree with that.
However, you still have to say it. That's what I don't like. Is, I can't say anything. Oh, yes, I can.
Point.
Oh, yes, I can.
That's a wonderful point. That's a wonderful point. But my thing is this, that yes, if you see someone doing something quote unquote wrong, the first thing would be, is it wrong according to your belief system, or is it wrong because it's arguably wrong? Right? So if you're being led by your belief system, now is your judgment of what's wrong you imposing your belief system onto someone else, or is it wrong because it's arguably just wrong? Like beating your spouse is arguably just wrong. You're committing violence onto another person and someone's being harmed. So you should step forward, right? You should. I mean, no matter what your background is. But if you see someone what's it? The homosexuality thing is just the easiest one, but that's not wrong to everybody. That's wrong according to perhaps one person's interpretation of their faith. Now, are they now justified to go and chase down every homosexual they come across and treat them as wrong? Or if you ever, or according to some people's interpretation of their faith, there's a problem with being a woman. So they put women down just because they're a woman.
Yeah, and
So
I think
I
because
get what you're saying.
I deal with both sides, and I definitely agree with the more conservative of my friends. The left is really good about if you say you're against something, they believe it. And I'm not saying the left is wrong. I'm not saying the left is wrong. I don't want to say the left is wrong.
They might be. I have problems with the left too.
But sometimes the left, and I'm definitely gonna be doing a show about this. We don't want to hear any discourse. We want if some people is just not gonna. Some people disagree with me about Medicare fraud. I don't understand it, but I'm like, hey, that's you.
But Tracy, using this as an example, Marlon, one second, Marlon, one second. Using this as the example, when we were trying to have this particular segment of the conversation, let's say I represent the left, more liberal view, and you were speaking more on the conservative view. You're not saying you're a conservative. I'm saying you were speaking from a more conservative view. You were the one that didn't want to have the conversation.
Right, because
you
I
were
knew
the one that wanted to
angry.
shut down the conversation.
Yes.
But that's the same thing. That you're pointing out. So to say that the left doesn't want to have the conversation, sometimes they don't, but it still needs to be had because no one has the right to tell you can't talk. And then on the other side, it works the other way. Now, the problem that I have is that there's one version where the left likes a police speech. Right? The left loves a police speech. Boy, they'd be like, you use the wrong word, the wrong pronoun, the wrong this, the wrong that, and then they'll just harass you. The right, on the other hand, is sitting here saying, if you don't believe as I believe, you're going to hell.
Both sides
and I'm gonna
are
pass
terrible.
Laws.
Yeah,
right?
both
but
sides.
They're not
one
equal.
side is
okay, and that's what.
And that's what I know my breaking point. I know it makes me angry, and this is one of those things. It makes me angry, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna calm myself down before I say something, and then I just go left because, like I said, I gotta go worse.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example from my point of view. When I talk about abortion, and I sit there and I tell you, I don't want you to do unless it's just a major situation. And here's where I would stop at, because I'm not going to get into an argument on everybody's definition of danger in a medical situation when it comes to abortion. I'm not going to play this freaking game with you. Unless you have a medical degree, shut the F up.
Yeah, because it's a medical procedure.
We're not going to play this game. But me personally, no, I really hope that you will find a way to give a healthy birth. However, my strength of saying that is not strong enough to say, I'm going to stop you from I'm not going to stop you from making the best decision for your life, knowing that whatever decision that you make does not affect me. So I see both points of view. It's just the outcome of it is what irks me. Do I
Hey, Marlon, what you just said.
Oh, let me finish.
What you just said. I'm sorry.
It's real short. Do I want you to have an abortion? No. Am I strong enough to go out on my freaking way to stop you from having one? Again, no.
But what if you believe you have the power to stop them?
That's what I'm saying. Both sides kind of get on my nerves.
I don't want to have for you to say that you
I know, but the people we're talking about.
We're the people. I mean, like I said,
the people
both
we're
sides
talking about think they have the power.
What
I would like,
my opinion is wrong,
and
that's my opinion is
wrong.
If
people would just ask themselves two questions. Question one: on whose authority? Question two: what would Jesus have you do? Remember, there was that whole phrase of what would Jesus do? No. I don't really like that one. It was cute, looked great on a bracelet, but the real question needs to come to you. What would Jesus have you do? So, and that's assuming you're Christian. Right?
Yeah, because
So,
everybody's not.
right? So the first question would be for all of us. On whose authority? Right? On whose authority do I have the right or whatever to engage with you on what I observe in your behavior? On whose authority am I to come in and tell you you got to pull your pants up? On whose authority do I have to say, if you hit her one more time, I'm going to hit you? Right? There's different authorities at play here. One is my arbitrary feeling, and the other one I could actually be backed up by law, right? Or by social custom. I don't know, whatever. Situations can vary. And then if you're a religious person, then it's what would Jesus have you do? And for that, I would say you would have to look at Jesus. That's what you say you follow. And then say, well, what would he have me do? What was his message? What was his example? And now I'm going to exercise that in a relevant way of the current day. But those two things are real stumbling blocks for most people. So then you end up with people on the left who often look at our religious community, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, what have you. And all we're looking at, and I know it can be annoying, it's got to be annoying. We're just pointing out hypocrisies.
Yep.
That's all we're doing.
Every single time.
Point out hypocrisy. Right? And I'm good at doing that. And the reason I feel justified in doing that is because I'm not holding you by my rules. I'm not holding you by my standards. I'm holding you by yours. You say you have, not you, Tracy, you say you have a particular calling and a particular walk and a particular faith. You are stepping outside of it. I'm not obligated to be like you are. You say you are. So I'm going to point that out. So I'm going to chin check you every time.
But here's the question I want everybody to ask. Here's the question I want everybody to ask on this panel. I think I know how Anna would answer it. If we had somebody on this panel that was just like, it's a sin, you're going to go to hell, would we listen to that person? Or will we just say, nope, you're not? They were right on every single issue. Equal pay, living wage, health care, child care. But they was wrong on that one issue. Would we listen to them? And I think the answer is no. I think the answer is no.
Okay, my answer. My answer would be, I would listen to them on every last one of those points, and I would debate them on each one I don't agree with.
Oh well, that was my answer. Sorry.
I think both sides, and I think that's where I'm getting to in terms of my personal journey. It's like both sides are starting to make me sick. Like, y'all making me sick, and y'all making me sick. So I
fully agree.
But I know I'm not middle. See, that's my thing. Is what I deal with.
For 3 years, we figured out that both sides make us
no, but I think the left does, because I don't think the right cares anything about the left. Trust me, they don't. They like, y'all just go away. But
we mean care nothing about the left. They're closing libraries, hiding history, telling entire races they don't count.
I'm not talking about
prison, passing laws.
I'm talking about most of the people I know. I'm not talking about the normal.
So the religious community, not necessarily conservative.
Right. I'm not talking. Right. That's not. Yeah. I'm not talking about the people who want to close libraries and cut off women's access. But I know the community I come from, they not trying to hear two men. They ain't trying to hear it. They don't want to hear it. So they're not going to listen to you.
And that's fine.
It's like
personally, I say that's fine.
But then the left will say, "Oh, they don't. We should just not even listen to them." And I'm like, "No, we should listen to them."
But we have done this.
Go ahead, Marlon.
We have done this on practically, and this is not even a pushback on you, Tracy. It just happens to be
a pushback,
a bridge.
It sounds like a pushback.
No, it's not a pushback. It's a bridge. Say what you just said on any policy. Absolutely any policy that you want to come up with right now. That no, I'm going to push back on you about what we want, and I know you don't want it. Yeah, and I'm going to say I do want it. I'm not gonna fight really hard for it.
I think we would listen when I was making my question. I think we would listen, but the larger left, nah, we're so busy canceling people.
That's literally why we
That's why we have a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's like
that's why we have a lot of
yourself as the left.
No, I don't. I do not.
That's literally why we have this show, because we do not have enough people who will sit there and realize. How many times have I sat there and said, please, and I'm not being mean, I'm just putting a point out there. Please stop saying if this happened, the great thing will happen. It's not that type of situation. Certain things has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen. And then we will get to the promised land, for lack of a better term. But everybody keeps thinking, well, if we get rid of this, we're there. And I keep saying no.
Because it's going to be something else. I mean, I don't...
Wait, well, can we...
Too many things.
But getting back to what Anna asked us, which is, where do you identify? So, she asked Tracy, do you consider yourself part of the left? Tracy said no, and yet you had a show called The Progressive Queen. So is that progressive as in the left, or is that...
Politically, I am to the left, but religion, no. Religiously, I do not ever consider myself to be a leftist.
And that is literally possible.
Like social policy, like I don't believe in taking what I believe in terms of religion. It's just like, you gonna practice it, and it doesn't matter. You gonna do that I don't believe. But I never consider myself. Your personal
code is what it is. Right? Your personal code is built on your belief system and your code, and that's how you walk. That's how you govern yourself, and that's how you live your life. But you're not trying to impose that by law on the someone else. But at the same time, you need to be protected from the law coming to you and saying that you now have to live a certain way too. So I think that the protection should hold both ways.
Both ways. And I think that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I can't say it right. Thank you.
No, but I think that's very fair, and I think that's the way it should all be. I think we should all function.
But there are certain podcasts that I know that I've had to literally stop. I'm like, if y'all take one more pot shot at Christian, I'm done. I can't. But
everybody's fair game. Everybody's fair game. Yeah, you can come at the black community, and you can find a lot of things that we do that are hypocritical. On one hand, we say that we want our freedoms and we want people to get out of our way, and we need criminal justice reform and blah 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 blah. But then at the same time, we're not all that aggressive or as aggressive as we need to be in taking back control of our children, taking back control of our local communities, and building up that. So it's a multifaceted thing. You're never going to have everybody walk in lockstep, because the left, by its very definition, is everyone who is trying to get America towards something different than what America is. And then the conservatives are more like, I want to hold America to what it is or what it was. And those two are at odds. And so you're never going to get them in lockstep, because like the black community, we sit here sometimes, generally, because I've had to back out of a black group just recently, because they're busy fighting each other about who gets to be black. I'm like, what the hell is this? We're mad at each other because this, like the two people, the Tennessee gentleman, right? This is an example. In my view, if you are black, or actually I'm gonna ask you, how do you identify? And then you're gonna say I'm black, or you're gonna say I'm mixed, or you're gonna say I'm biracial, or you're gonna say whatever you are. Whatever you identify as, that's what you are to me. Okay? Unless you're just obviously lying, right? You're not gonna be Eminem and say you black.
Racial
okay? But right, but I'm just saying, like, to me, if one of your parents is black, and you say you're black, society definitely says you're black. Even if you're the lightest of light skin, society says you're black. If you say you're black, then I have no I agree. I support that. I'm not going to ostracize you because you're not whatever weird definition of black I decided to land on, right? If a person says that they're gay, and not in truth, but if a guy says that he's gay, but he's never been with another man, am I going to sit here and say, well, you're not gay until you have sex with another man? No, the man says
Yeah.
he's gay. That's what he's attracted
Yeah,
to.
that's what he said. Yeah.
It's like this litmus test stuff. There's certain levels of litmus tests that need to exist, but we've gone way too far.
Yeah, and I
That's
tell you,
the
this is one I was like, when Marlon showed that video, I'm no, not this annoying guy. That young man literally annoyed me to the point.
But the lady annoyed me.
I mean, they both annoyed me, but he was like, it's a sin. I'm like, but that's the way some people think. Why can't he just why couldn't he just
It's a sin. Because he wasn't saying it's a sin to me. He was saying it's a sin.
No, she was saying it was a sin. He was saying that if you believe that, then you're bigoted. And I'm like, no.
What she I'm gonna tell you what's going on, because this is that whole talk fast bull crap that he was doing.
They both were getting on my nerves, to be honest. Yeah, both of them. I was like, y'all both getting on my nerves. He was
constantly trying to say that the statement that you are saying that came from the Bible is bigoted.
But what if she was quoting from the Bible?
No, well, it doesn't matter, because
even if she was, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, all she was trying to say was, so what you're saying is anybody who believes in the Bible. Here, listen to what I'm saying. She didn't say the statement, the verse, or anything else. She skipped the verse. She went straight from the Bible. She skipped the Bible and went straight to the people. So when he kept saying the statement that you're saying is bigoted, she skipped the verse, the Bible. So you're saying that the people who believes in this is bigoted, and the guy kept saying, "No, I'm saying that verse that you're saying is bigoted." Then
which is weird.
Huh?
Which is weird.
But she didn't quote a scripture.
But that was the point of it.
She quoted a belief.
You to listen. She was trying to sit there and try to get you to say. She was trying to get him to say that anybody that believes in that Bible, again, she's skipping the verse that he kept repeating.
Well, she's skipping a whole bunch of verses, but I mean, that's just.
And that's what
the whole argument.
She was trying to make
the whole argument was disingenuous.
If you believe in this Bible, which a lot of Catholic people, a lot of Baptist people believe in, then you're saying anybody that believes in this Bible, not the verse, that believes in this Bible.
And I will still come back to, where did she get the verse?
But so if I may, the argument was about, is homosexuality a sin? And instead of her debating that on the merits of is homosexuality
she went all left.
She jumped and did a straw man argument.
Yeah, she did.
So I can't beat you on what you're talking about, or I choose not to argue with you on that particular point. So I'm going to now take something that's bigger, so that whatever you say is now going to be insulting a bigger thing. So that was disingenuous, because his point was, if you say that homosexuality is a sin, then yeah, that might be your belief system. But I'm telling you from my point of view that that's a bigoted statement. And then she says, well, then you're saying all Catholics are bigoted?
And yeah, why did she just pick Catholic? He didn't say anything about it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, both sides, he got on my nerves a little bit more, but
he wanted to score points.
And she wanted to score points. And she wanted
to just do something.
Yeah, it's like, but that's what I hate. I'm like, could we please talk to each other? Could we just?
But in order to do it, we have to have the patience, Tracy. If you want to do it, like, I say all the time, you got to have the patience, or you have to decide you want to do it. This still could have been a good conversation if it played out. See, because he's trying to keep it here, she's trying to go all out here. But if either one of them recalibrated, and instead of trying to debate this larger thing, we bring it down and we say, well, what is it about homosexuality that is a sin? What does that make you think of? What is those things? And then, given how you feel about that, what your belief says about that, what does your belief also say about caring for the sick or caring for the sinner?
And the children.
That would have been
and the widows and the exactly.
Right. So the problem is, on the left, we get frustrated with the hypocrisy. So it ends up being this tit
Oh,
for
and I
tat,
know it's
and no
hypocrites.
one hears each other.
Let me
I
have
mean,
the
tell
last.
you.
Let me have the last word because we got to move on because the deal. I don't mean to cut it, y'all, but it is getting kind of late now. And like Tracy, now I'm in the mood of I got to go to work tomorrow. When you get into a certain situation, when you get into a certain argument, if at any point in the argument you are more inclined to win than to understand,
You've already lost.
then stop arguing because it's a lost form.
Yeah, and I think
We're done. It's a marriage thing that I did learn. It's a marriage thing that I had to put in my head for the longest time. When you're arguing with your spouse, and at a certain time it goes to, I have to win this argument compared to more understanding about this argument, you need to stop. Because all you really doing is, if you're trying to win this argument, you won today, but it's going to come back up, and it's just not worth it. And that's what those two was going through.
Yep.
Both of them was trying to win.